Algebra 2, G1, matrix vocabulary. A matrix is just a rectangular grid of numbers. So we're dealing with rectangles, okay? If you have a matrix, the first thing we need to know is how to pronounce or how to say its dimensions. And whenever you're doing dimensions, it's always rows, and this is the word by columns. Rows by columns. Going horizontally are your rows. Going up and down are your columns. So this would be row 1, this would be row 2. So there are 2 rows, and there are 3 columns. So if I asked you what the dimensions of this matrix was, you would say a 2 by 3. On this one, there are 3 rows. There is 1 column. So this is a 3 by 1. On this, there are 2 rows and 2 columns. So this is a 2 by 2. 2 by 3, 3 by 1, 2 by 2. A square matrix. A square matrix has the same amount of rows and columns. This one right here was a square matrix because our rows is the same as our columns. Identity matrix. This is an example of an identity matrix. It's not always a 3 by 3, but it's whenever you have ones going down the diagonal. It has to be a square matrix first, but one's going down the diagonal from top left to bottom right, and zeros everywhere else. Both of these are identity matrices. A column matrix is just one column. So up here, this is a column matrix because there's just one column. And a row matrix, there's just one row. And a zero matrix is where every element or every number inside the brackets is 0. How many elements does this matrix have? This has 2 numbers, so there are 2 elements. Is this a 0 matrix? No, because there are 1s in it. Is this a 0 matrix? Yes, because everything is zeros. What are the dimensions of this matrix? There is 1 row, and there are 2 columns, so this is a 1 by 2. What element is in row 1, column 1? So if this is row 1, this is row 2, and this is row 3, and this is column 1, then row 1, column 1, which number intersects both of those? The number 9. This is a 1 by 2, which means it is not square because they're not the same number. What are the dimensions? 1, 2, 3. This is a 4 by 1. Which of these matrices are identity matrices? Remember, it has to go from top left to bottom right. Top left to bottom right. Not this one. And everything else are zeros. This looks really, really weird, but it is not. What element Let me back up. What is element A sub 31 in this matrix? The 3 is the row, and the 1 is the column. So row 3, column 1, negative 9 is where they meet. That's the element in that spot. What kind of matrix is this? Select all that apply. It is a square matrix. It is not a column matrix because it has more than one column. It is identity. It is not zero. And it is not row. What kind of matrix is this? Select all that apply. It is a zero matrix. It is not a column matrix. It is not a square matrix. It is a column matrix. It's not a row matrix, it's a column matrix. And it's not identity because it's not square and it doesn't have ones going down.